Hello, welcome friends. My name is Avinash Gorakshakar and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Konexio HighFlyers. Friends, as all of you are aware, we introduce emerging companies from emerging sectors and we make it a point to talk to the promoters, the top managements of such companies so that all of us can understand their businesses in a much better way. We get to know the aspirations of the promoter, their growth journey, their future growth plans, their business model, and many other things in these interviews. And this helps all our investors to take a very conscious investment call when they do invest in such companies. Friends, today we're going to talk about another interesting company which is in the hospital space. The company's name is Hannah Joseph Hospital Limited, and I have the privilege of having uh, Mr. Moses Joseph Arunkumar, uh, who's a neurosurgeon and chairman and managing director of the company. Arun sir, welcome to the show, and thank you very much, sir, for your valuable time. I am quite sure that in
Thank
this
you.
small interaction, we'll be able to understand your company's operations in a much better way for all our investors.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. So, Arun sir, first question, which is very elementary. If you could tell us something about your journey, is it a first generation effort from your side, or was this hospital started by your father and then you took over and then gradually expanded operation? And secondly, sir, you operate from Madurai. So, what is the kind of positioning our hospital has? It's a multi-speciality hospital, I've read. Sir, what are the services you offer, and what is the positioning of our hospital in the domestic market? If you could please share your thoughts.
Sure, sir. See, basically, I had come into Madurai in the year 2000, and the initial period I was working for the Apollo hospitals. And then in 2000, about after 7 years, I came into making of the Hannah Joseph Hospital in 2008. And Hannah Joseph is no one other than my grandma, and it's a family name. So it's the first
Okay.
generation hospital started by me. And
Okay.
in 2008, we started as a 35-bed small hospital in the Madurai city with a focus on, it's a multi-speciality, but the focus is on neurosciences and trauma. Neuroscience and trauma meaning is neurosciences, neurology, neurosurgery, accident and trauma patients apart from psychiatry, and those
Okay.
on with the fields. And
Okay.
then over the next 3 years, in 2011, we became a private limited company. And in 2022, we became a public limited company.
Okay.
So in the initial period of about from the 35 beds we started, we had in terms of volume and patient volumes and so on, we reached the target of 35 beds in around 3 to 4 years time, and we found we were unable to expand further because of want of beds and ICU beds and ventilators. That is the time then we struck that we need to move into a bigger space, and then we built the extension of the 150-bed hospital, which is 133 beds, is operational in a 2-acre campus in the national highway connecting almost close to the airport. And this became we started the commissioning of this from 2020 August. We moved in between the COVID times. Just the
Yeah.
hospital was ready just before the COVID, and then we had to move in, and then we started going on for the last couple of years.
Okay.
The main focus is on here also, the new campus, we added on interventional neuroradiology. Apart from neurology and neurosurgery, interventional neuroradiology has a major focus where it utilizes the cath lab, which is a hybrid cath lab of a neurocardio cath lab, which starts functioning. Apart from the allied sciences of cardiac sciences, orthopedics, trauma, and maxillofacial surgery, all these are allied sciences which we added on to the new campus, having various departments with about 4 operation theaters, 4 ICUs, a digital MR with a hybrid cath lab, and all the facilities we started off from the year 2020 here. And in the last 3 years, we have been last 3-4 years, we've been achieving good growth in terms of patient volumes and also in good revenues and revenue pattern.
Okay. Uh, so Arun sir, if you could tell us, what is the total installed bed capacity, after this new facility from 2020 started? And secondly, sir, out of your entire revenue mix, I was seeing that it is roughly about 77, 78 crores. Can we assume that, neurology, neurosurgical services, what would be the broad breakup of these services? Because you are a multi-specialty hospital, but still, if you could give us some broad breakup, like what constitutes a major portion of our revenue, if you could please help us.
Yes, sir. So in this, as I said earlier, it's about the 150-bed hospital. 133 beds are operational beds. The majority of services are in neurosurgery, as I said, neurology, head traumas, accident and trauma services, neuroradiology, neuropsychiatry, neurorehabilitation services, neuro-intensive care and neuro-emergency services. All these constitute, and is the orthopedics and other trauma and general medicine related facilities. This constitutes to the whatever we've been doing, and it's been on since the last 3-4 years. Has been the same, and there's no difference in the pattern of patients coming in.
Okay, understood. Arun sir, now tell me one thing, like, how many doctors are associated with us? What is the kind of arrangement we have? Do we have consultants or do we have dedicated doctors with us? Because finally, the heart of the business is the doctors and, obviously their technical skill set. So how have you managed to create, a kind of a backup of good doctors so that patients are convinced that, we have the right ability to give them the right medical service? So first of all, how many doctors are associated with us? And what is their role? Are they part-time? Are they full-time? How does it work at our hospital?
Yes, sir. Coming to that, we have almost 40 doctors as full-time, and out of which we have around 20 to 22 people as full-time consultants. So we have a full-time consultants of senior consultant, mix of senior, mid-range. Around 20 consultants are working as full-time with us. Apart from that, we have visiting consultants of around 25 different department senior people who also take care of in the allied specialities like general medicine, surgery, and all those allied specialties we have as visiting consultants, and the duty medical officers and PG residents. We have 16 plus 4, 20 of them. A total of almost nearly 40 to 42 people are full-timers with us. And that's a very big team we have. Especially all these people are concentrating on, the 90% service, the core of this multi-specialty hospital is, as I earlier said, is the neurosciences and trauma, and plus the allied sciences.
Okay. So I think now, Arun sir, you have explained in detail how many people are there. I mean, if you could give us a very simple outline, like, you have been in this market for a long time, you understand this business very well. Neurosciences or neurosurgery, typically, people from the financial community would like to know, what is the kind of opportunity for growth from this particular segment, and why did the company focus on this segment? Was it any specific reason that you saw that there is a tremendous growth here, we could service the patients very well? Sir, what is the reason first for entering this segment, and secondly, in terms of the total addressable market over the next, say, 3-5 years? Because now we are going public, so obviously, there's a big runway available for you, and you will definitely achieve, your future endeavors also, I'm pretty sure. But sir, if you could tell us what is the total size of the opportunity, and how will our company, plan to capitalize on this growth? If you could please tell us.
Yes, sir. See, I had actually had very passionate about neurosciences, neurosurgery, and that's why I chose medicine as a career to pass my MBBS to come into neurosurgery. That's how it all started off. And then I wanted to focus on neurosciences and trauma, though it is a multi-specialty, what we have filed in the RHP as the allied subjects are also there. We had this kind of a focused neurosciences center, something like a NIMANS hospital in Bangalore in the central government sector. We want to create something like it in the private sector. So, and all the other models, what we have here in the country are all multi-specialty hospitals.
I just wanted to understand one simple thing. Like, you have now mastered this in the, in the Tamil Nadu market. You're based in Madurai. So can we assume that going forward also for you, the main runway for growth will be coming in from this pocket? I mean, largely from the southern India market pocket. Can we assume this?
Yes, southern Tamil Nadu, southern India, and centered around this place. And also we have sporadic the patients coming from other states and other cities and metropolitan cities also. And so we have a mix of everything, but the majority of the patients are from the southern and central Tamil Nadu and southern part onwards.
Roughly, Arun sir, just a kind of a rough, estimate. What has been the rough inpatients kind of inflows, in the last 12 months? I mean, at least let's talk about FY25 and the first 6 months of FY26. Roughly, what's the kind of inflow of inpatients? Because that is supposed to be a very critical number for us. So if you could give us some idea, last year what was it, and what's the trend you see, going forward?
I would say there's a mix of inpatient, outpatient. We had around patient strength of 8,000, 8,900, approximately that range in the last financial year FY25, and in FY26 up to September, September 25, we have around 5,250 odd patients so far.
Okay. And Roughly, Arun sir, just for our knowledge, in this industry, how do you measure the capacity utilization? You said you got 135 beds. So typically, how do we calculate that these are optimally used, like 80%, 90%, 75%? How do we, evaluate a company based in the hospital space like you, based on the capacity utilization metric?
Yes, sir. So earlier, 5 years back, in a 35-bed hospital, we reached 28 to 30 beds, almost 85 to 90% consistently for many, many
Okay.
years. And
Okay.
then from the 28 to 30 beds, when we came into the new hospital post-COVID, we had started with around 35 beds, 40 beds. It went up to 45, 50, 57, and so on. And average last year was about 54 to 57 beds out of 133 beds, which
Okay.
amounts to, I would say, percentage-wise, around 40 to 42% is the occupancy rate, and out of the
Okay.
130. So we have a
So
large capacity utilization waiting to fill it. We have with this kind of
exactly.
a 42% of this thing, what you're seeing is a robust revenues impact. It's such a huge one. Imagine we have another 40% adding on to it in the coming 3 to 5 years time. It's almost the revenues. We become more and more going into this as more popular among this
No, no.
sector.
I think rightly mentioned by you. So basically, my understanding, please correct me if I'm wrong, Arun sir, it means that there is a huge scope for operating leverage. When you increase your capacity utilization, operating
Yeah.
leverage will also, benefit you because currently it's about 40, 42%. So you've got still a lot of capacity which you can obviously fulfill, at the Madurai, multi-specialty hospital. Arun sir, now one simple question, like, see, we know that you have spent years in this segment. You are one of the pioneers here. Tell me, tomorrow, if somebody wants to come and set up a hospital in, let's say, nearby to Madurai or in South India, in what way are we, let's say, a little different from, others, and how are we more competent? Like today, competition is always going to come. There's no doubt about it. So, you have done a good job. So people look at your success and then they say, okay, let's start our business also in the same segment and in the same area. Now, as a promoter, what do you think you have in you as a special kind of, process or category, or you got a very good doctor team? What is it that you add differently to the patient, and the patient is convinced that when they come to your multi-specialty hospital, they get the best service? And obviously competition will be there, but you obviously are doing much better. So anything you have added in the last few years to ensure that this patronage for your hospital continues? If you could share 2 3 points for us.
Yes. See, the first thing is being focused on neurosciences. We have a large market share in our regional, in our city itself. We have another 3 more players who are multi-specialty hospitals who also do neurosciences. And the next thing is we have another thing is we have a large experience. Like I've been here for 25 years as a brand, and 18 years of Hanajas, 18 plus years of Hanajas Hospital has been a brand for those called the multi-specialty and neurosciences focused. We're been very, very focused on neurosciences and been known for neurosurgery and neurosciences department in this place. Apart from this, something different what we make us is we have the latest equipments, the infrastructure, the high-tech equipments, almost 95% of the equipments what we use in the operation theaters and everywhere are imported from other countries. And at par with, these are things which is available at par with any other metropolitan cities in our country and also in the European and American setup. So those kind of equipment is here, and probably the good skills, and we are trained team of doctors we have, backed up by, I said, a lot of neurosurgical, neuro-related departments we have. So patient outcome is better. So that way we are able to keep up the spirit of going ahead with this work. If someone wants to set up something, I mean, they have to create a Nike for themselves, as branding, and it's going to take a very, very long time because 25 years of my work in Madurai is what coming out as an IPO today. So imagine. It's a long way to go. I mean, it's not that easy to set it up.
I think rightly mentioned by you. See, our job is to ask you these questions, Arun sir, but you are the best person in your particular segment. Sir, now coming on the financials, I was just seeing your FY25 number, a pretty decent number. I think revenue of 77 crores compared to 63 crores, and the PAT has also jumped to 7.21 crores. Earlier it was 4.06 crores. Sir, tell us, this year has been a monumental year for you, a very good jump in the profitability, top line has also increased. So anything more increasingly you did in terms of number of surgeries or maybe number of inpatients? What exactly was the reason for this improvement in the profitability? Because this is the year precedent to the current year. So if you could tell us 2 3 reasons, for the improvement, because obviously as a growing business, we have seen a consistent growth in your top line, but profitability wise, this year has been remarkably good. So any specific reason for the improvement in profitability?
So I would say last couple of years also has been pretty good for us, not only this year. And this is basically the capacity utilization, more patient turnover, more complex surgeries on the brain tumors and spine surgeries and complex head injuries and spine and head trauma, which is coming, polytrauma, which come in, complex neurological patients who are a lot of stroke patients, large volume of stroke patients who required interventions like thrombectomy in the cath lab and so on. It's like more complex cases, more patient turnover and volume. These are things which is driving force for the revenue to go up. The PAT is jumping even further high because as we went up, the debt became less, and so are the margins. I mean, what I'm saying is because of the interest rate and the interest and depreciation, all tremendously. So it looks very attractive when you compare. I mean, when you see the last couple.
Well, that point is very well justified by you, Arun sir. Basically, we see that the PAT for the first 6 months is almost 5.10 crores. So, obviously, you've done a good amount of effort, which is getting reflected in the numbers. Tell me one thing, Arun sir, is this business seasonal? I mean, obviously, hospital business is like, you can't call it seasonal, but has it happened that a large part of your revenues normally come in the second half of the financial year? Does it happen like that?
You're right, very, very right. See, there are a few things in Madurai city, also known as Temple City, and there is some few things that you have very rightly said. In the first half is always a little slow, and the next half is the growth is much more. Like for example, in April, May we have the temple festivals, and in July and August we have that they call this Adi Masam. Those are times is inauspicious and all the things. So there is a bit of a trend for the number of elective cases coming down, and also the traumas and everything coming down. This is a small trend like that. So the April, May, that junction, and again the July, August, the junction has always been a little less flow of patient intake. Not only in the neurosciences segment, is the same happens in all the multi-specialty hospitals down south. So it's a very similar trend. What we see it almost year on year, we see the same trend only.
Yeah. No, understood. Now, sir, Arun sir, most important question for today. We are going public, so it's a vindication of your efforts. You have put in so many years of service, so it's a big thumbs up for you, because now you will be a public limited company. Tell us, what is the main objective of raising this money, and what is the amount of capital we plan to raise from the markets?
See, having done so much and we have almost everything under one roof, what we are lacking is we didn't have radiation therapy unit for ourselves. So our patients who undergo brain tumor surgeries, brain cancer, spinal cord, spine surgeries, and so on, we had to refer those patients to outside hospitals for want of radiation therapy. Yes. So the main idea is to, you get in the radiation oncology or a neuro-oncology segment to focus on radiation oncology, radiation therapy. So we are bringing out we are coming out with the additional block. It's just an annex or extension of the existing hospital, connected with a 20-feet corridor to the adjacent land, which is already acquired. So here we are bringing in the budget of around 35.5 crores roughly for raising the building and the bunkers, and to procure the equipment for this radiation therapy. So these two constitutes a major thing, and this is what the IPO proceeds will be used for.
Okay. So basically, this is for the new facility, the radiation facility, which you want to put. This is going to come at the same facility or at some other location, Arun sir?
It's this adjacent land. It's just separated by a wall. We open the wall. It's just connecting corridor. We'll be there to wheel in all the patients on wheelchair, everything, and it'll be outpatient facility.
Yeah. And so basically, logistically, it will be much better. Patients' movement, and you all can easily manage to get the best out of it. Okay.
So they can get in the main hospital. That's one of the things. Yes.
And typically, when is this facility going to be operational, Arun sir?
Very likely, approximately, I'll say 15 months from now on. From today, that means we will commence from April 2027.
Okay, April 2027. Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. And just one question, without you giving me any commitment on the numbers. Radiation is supposed to be a high margin business. So can we assume that once this facility starts, it's like a value addition to the patient who comes to your hospital? As you said, radiation was done. I earlier outsourced to other players. Now it is going to happen in your own company. So can we safely assume? Of course, don't give me a number, But can we safely assume that margins will improve, because radiation, I believe, is a high margin business?
Yes, definitely. Yes, we are. It's an annexure to our existing hospital as an expanding unit here. And apart from radiation oncology, once the radiation oncology starts, we'll also have medical oncology with all these patients going in for chemotherapy, immunotherapy, and so on. And the surgical oncology can also utilize the same premises and facilities. So it's going to be almost a 3-in-1 kind of thing, not radiation therapy. So it's a value-added services for our own patients and for the improvement in the branding also, saying that the neuroscience center has everything, including radiation center. That's the only thing that is missing, which we have it completely, and that makes it as complete. That's all. I just want to bring it along.
So now let's understand, how does the working capital cycle in our business work? Do you take some advance from your customers, or how does the payment cycle work? Like suppose some patient is admitted, a trauma patient or maybe an emergency patient, how does the payment cycle work? Because this issue, I believe, is for your new unit. I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong. This issue is not for working capital, right?
Like any other hospital, and the patient gets admitted for surgery, they pay a part advance, and after that, based on their day-to-day billing, you have patient clears off the bills as and when it's needed, and a large part of the bill is settled once the patient gets discharged, which is like any other multi. There's no change in the pattern of billing for any like any other institute. We do that. And then once the credit patients, like in the pharmacy and other places, the credit system is about 30 to 45 days is about the cycle you're looking at. Credit cycle, what you're looking at is about 30 to 45 days.
One thing which I observed, Arun sir, which I think is very commendable for your company, is that operating cash flows have been pretty decent. You have managed a very strong operating cash flow. So, you all have done a good job. So that was the reason I wanted to ask you. Now,
yes. Our billing system and all this, people, very experienced people, have been working in the same field for 15, 20 years in Madurai and outside also. And they are very careful in maintaining the balance. Everything is pretty good. And this also people are with me for a very long time, more than a decade and so on. So we have very good understanding, and we keep going on like that. So.
Apart from the doctors, Arun sir, how many employees are there currently with us, like in the total hospital setup as of now?
Neurosciences, as I said, is we are focused on in the multi-specialty discipline. Is a very we need a large number of human resources, unlike multi-specialty hospitals. We have 100 plus nurses to take care of patients, because we have almost 30% of our capacity are in the ICU patients, on ventilator, unconscious. Another 30 odd patients in the cath lab and operation theaters, nurses and technicians. Overall, we have 320 people working as full-timers and on the payroll, and the security system and general maintenance is in the outsourced, which 319 is on the regular payroll.
And Arun sir, for the radiation unit, will you have to add any people, or within this staff only this will be taken care of? Anything on that, if you could tell us?
The radiation sector is mainly at the basement and the ground floor, which has a bunker and 12 consultant rooms. So it's more of a daycare and outpatient services. In case a patient, most of the 80% of the patients are going to there for a daycare and outpatient services. Maybe 15 to 20% may be coming in for inpatients here. So we will not need much people. We may have another additional of maybe 20, 25 people to begin with will be enough for us. And with existing facilities, what we have here, all the licensing, everything has already been done with the government. So with all the thing generators and everything, the fire system, the air conditioning system, cooler system, everything is there with us already in the base hospital. That will be just be extended to the newer annex or a newer facility. We don't need anything new to be built for this.
Understood. Now, Arun sir, one important question which most investors would definitely later on ask you also is that you are the main promoter, the main driver of growth for this company. Sir, what is your role in the company as of now? What's the main functional area? Do you look at basically the operational side or maybe the new business side? Obviously, you must be having a very large team to support you. That is point number one. And secondly, what is the kind of backup? Like, you are the key man risk. Everything revolves around you. So, sir, is there any kind of backup plan? I mean, of course, by God's grace, everything should be okay. But I'm saying typically in such kind of companies, you are the main person. So what is the kind of succession planning which we have done? So, like, obviously you must be doing a pretty good job. Obviously, you're doing a good job, but typically, is there any backup plan which has also been put up from your side, just to ensure that there is continuity and it's a process-driven kind of business?
Yes, very rightly said. The earlier part, the first couple of years when I started the Hannah's Hospital, I was a key person. I was doing everything, and the brand is me, and like that's the kind of thing. And in the couple of years, I started building up the team from 2015 onwards, and almost 11 years, 11th year now, and almost 10 years, we started a large build-up of a team in the form of more neurosurgeons, senior level neurosurgeons who joined me, neuroanesthesiologists, and the team started building. And in 10 years' time, we made, it's not my name, it's become the brand name of Hannah's Hospital. People come for the hospital, not for me alone. Next thing is, our team that are able to take care of all the surgeries. Almost 75-80% of surgeries are done by them, and I just hang around and be there, and only the few complex cases are done by me. Like it's a mix of all these things. And the succession plan is my daughter is doing her fourth year in neurosurgery in CMC Vellore, where I also got trained from Vellore, and she'll be joining probably another 2-3 years time, and once she completes. And then we have my son is also doing his final year MBBS in Chennai, and my wife is a psychiatrist who is also the executive director of the hospital. So we have a large planning backup from the family itself, and plus our team also. They had taken up various roles. I have different people taking care of minimal invasive surgeries, and neuroanesthesiology, neuroradiology, interventional neurology. Very, very, very many people are with me as a team. So it's no reason to be afraid of anything. That the team has played a very dedicated, sincere role in bringing up this hospital to this extent, and we continue to flourish like this, definitely.
No, I think, Arun sir, my job is to ask you. So honestly, please, don't feel bad. The reason I asked you was that, from an investor point now, since you're going public, these are obviously questions which are going to be asked. But I'm very happy to know that, sir, the family is full of, medical fraternity. So everybody is contributing to the cause. Just one more question, sir. We are in a business where we need to build a team. As you rightly said, you have been building a team. People are there with us. Sir, what is the motivation you give to your employees now, since your company is going public? Obviously, doctors must be young. They also aspire to grow along with the company. So in a very short way, what are the things which you normally do to motivate your team members? Because finally, we work in a routine for any kind of business, but to retain those people for a long period of time, they need to have a personal attachment with you. Only then, the commitment comes in. So any kind of motivation kind of exercise which has been done by you, like if you could tell us.
Yes. See, we as a hospital, I have a lot of people who have been with me for many, many years. There are people who joined me from the beginning of the company. There are at least 15 of them started 18 years ago and still there with me. Many of them are more than 10 years and 15 years experience with me. And I'm happy to say that we have one of the very, very low attrition rates in our company. And other level of the skillful senior level surgeons and people, they have all the facilities. See, there is two things. One is a package. One is a good remunerations we give according to the basic market, what is prevailing in our southern part of Tamil Nadu and Madurai city, almost incomparable to the metropolitan cities in Chennai and Bangalore and so on. We give a good package for them. That's number one. The second is we are trying to nurture the local talent, like the people who have been, they were studied everywhere else. They studied abroad, they studied in the north, maybe in Delhi or they all wanted it from the roots. They want to come back to Madurai, and they have a good infrastructure because that makes job satisfaction. See, money will not just compensate this. They have to have good working environment, infrastructure, to whatever they learn, they practice their skills here and they give a good outcome to the patient with all the facilities. Like you are in a western place or a western country or in a metro city, whatever facilities you want, everything is there in our place for the last almost 12 years, not just 1 year or 2 years. Even in the little hospital, we had all the facilities. As I said, everything is important. So that is what keeps our people very happy, and they continue to work here. And they also have a good holiday off. They have a break for at least 4 to 5 days in a month to take off, and they go to places where they want to, or they can go for conferences, meetings to nurture more skills. So a lot of freedom is there. That is what. helps us to retain people in the top line and top skilled people, including very major or senior consultants and other people who are the professional part of our journey.
I think you're absolutely right, because I have had the benefit of coming to Madurai sometime back. So it's a very beautiful place. Obviously, Madurai, it's definitely a very nice place to relax. I mean, unlike Mumbai, but good to know that. Arun sir, last question for today. I think which is very important. We just asked this because every business has got risk. I think in our business, sustainability is definitely there, because it's a service-driven kind of business model. Tell me one thing, what is the first thing which comes to your mind when you come to your hospital every day in the morning? And what is it that is very important to ensure that everything is working 24/7 properly? If you could please tell us.
Yes. See, it is when I started as a 35-bed hospital in 2008, we had total of around 22, 25 people working with me, taking care of everything, right from working with the patients to pushing the patients to the trolley to the CT scan, like that. And very important is assigning the right job to the people, and you have to have the trust in building different departments, not only the medical department, all the paramedical departments, right from the accounts to the billing to the physiotherapy to the nursing department. Everybody has a head. All these people work in unison to take care of their departments, and that runs in a very beautiful way. You give them freedom and also the power to take care of things, and they should have the right, the respect they earn, and to control their different departments, and they report to me on a day-to-day basis, or if there is any problems. And that freedom and power and the respect is what you give it to each department HODs to sustain this growth and to go on like this forever and ever.
Okay.
This is what I have been doing.
Well, I think very nicely done, and I'm quite sure, Arun sir, it will be a big success for you. I think the kind of foundation you have laid is definitely very inspiring. So, sir, thank you very much for your time. I think it was very good for me, and it will be very good for all our viewers also to understand your company, which you explained in a very nice way. So, sir, please accept my best wishes to you, your entire management team, and best wishes for your public issue also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me in this program here. Thank you so much. Bye.